This might be the best looking affordable Super Saiyan 3 Goku out there. Today we're going to be talking about Demoniacal Fit's Super Saiyan 3 Goku, because I finally have him, otherwise known as Dragon Blaster. So after years of being disappointed with all of the Super Saiyan 3 Gokus out there, I figured it's time we get a genuinely good looking one, right? Because the official SHFiguarts one is outdated. The Neo Kong and Kong ones just look a mess. And most of the best looking head sculpts cost almost as much as a premium Bandai figure. I'm not gonna buy that. But this one actually gives you the full package. You get the figure, accessories, you get a really cool looking dragon. So let's open this thing up and see if it lives up to the hype that I created for it in my head. So see, the thing about Super Saiyan 3 Goku is that not everybody can get this right. And by not everybody, I mean literally anybody that has released a Super Saiyan 3 Goku figure has never gotten it right. The only Super Saiyan 3 Goku figures that I own are the official Tamashii Nation's SHFiguarts Super Saiyan 3 Goku and this hunk of plastic. It is the worst looking Super Saiyan 3 Goku I've ever had the displeasure of having. Kong Studios. The hairline is bad, the body quality is terrible, the faces are too small. Everything about this figure makes me want to throw it away. I haven't had much experience with the Super Saiyan 3 head sculpts. I know Custom had its own head sculpt at one moment. Right now those are going for about 150 if you're able to find one. Jesse Toys decided to recast the Recustom one, and now they're having their affordable version up on AliExpress. I'm hoping that I don't have to keep looking for one because Demoniacal Fit finally joined in the Super Saiyan 3 game, and based on the product images that I've seen, it actually looks like a decent option. This big box is Demoniacal Fit's rendition of Super Saiyan 3. This one did set me back around $80, which isn't too bad. It's roughly around the same as if you got it on premium Bandai. This is around the price range of what we're expecting if premium Bandai ever decided to release a Super Saiyan 3 Goku. The hair is slightly shorter than most Super Saiyan 3 releases, but I feel like that's not enough for me to say no to this figure. So with that said, let's open up this big box and see what comes in here, because there's a lot and I can't wait to get it open. So let's do that. So this big box, we're gonna set down right here. This one I got from Luxe Store on AliExpress. Let me talk to you guys for a second. I don't know how you guys find a lot of cheap prices. I buy it very excited knowing that I got it for a good price, and then I get comments from people saying like, oh, you got that for 80, I got that for 50. Where do you guys find these things for cheaper prices? Those are the cheapest prices I can find. Anyway, so I got this from Luxe Store, which is a very reputable store. Shipping is incredibly fast. I literally pre-ordered this 2 weeks ago. They shipped it out last week. I literally got it today. Anybody that pre-ordered it with them, you do get this Dragon Blaster special bonus, which is a separate face that does not come in the regular release. Hopefully you guys are able to find it, because this is a pre-order bonus and it will run out. So let's open this box. How do I open this? The box is a little banged up. Nothing too major. It's a typical Demoniacal Fit shipper box that is very similar to the SHFiguarts one. I'm trying to figure out how to open it. Do it from here. I did have to elevate my camera setup a little bit more just so I can get more room because it's a big boy. All right, let's open this. Perfect. Everything seems to be fine. All right, let's take this out. Here we have the Dragon Blaster and it's in pristine condition. This box looks amazing. This is the regular Demoniacal Fit design. It's very reminiscent of the Comic-Con exclusive. We have the design of the Super Saiyan 3 on the side, Dragon Blaster all over the box, and then back here we have some product images. You're getting the figure, and then you're getting this really cool accessory. It's a stand. I don't want to open it, but this is a really nicely made box. You have the little accessory packs right here, and it comes with dragon whiskers. The stand itself, it comes with 4 sets of hands, not including the wrist. It's definitely certifiable that you will get this figure in great condition. You can see how big this dragon actually is. So the figure is a basic SHFiguarts size figure. This is a big stand, and the detailing is amazing. Energy flying from under the dragon, the 7-star Dragon Ball. It's all one piece. I thought it was going to be something that you had to put together, but it's actually just one piece. It looks amazing. Let me just scan it real quick with my glasses. Wow, the paintwork is really clean. The arms aren't articulated. This is just stand. It's actually really nice. Look at it. Because let's say you just bought this for $80. I think this dragon alone just justifies the purchase. And then the figure itself, you get 5 faces, including the one that's already installed. But if you pre-ordered, you get a special bonus one. And then you get the actual figure. It's very lightweight. It's not heavy at all. The hair does look a little smaller. So this is Neo Kong compared to Demoniacal Fit, and the hair is obviously a lot smaller. The Neo Kong one is so much heavier that whenever you try to stand it up, it pulls it back because of how heavy the hair is, compared to this one, which is very lightweight and it moves with the figure, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it looks like a Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Now let's look at the faces. You either get a really good Super Saiyan 3 face or it looks just really bad. Kong Studios, this is a really good Super Saiyan 3 Goku face. The eyebrows are rounded, which is what the recustom Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta faces have. Rounded out eyebrows, not like the ones that are flat and expect you to call it a Super Saiyan 3. Kong Studios. Neo Kong is basically just a copy of Kong Studios, so it's basically the same thing. So as you can see, the forehead is too low, so it gives it a very ugly 2 head. Now if we look at the sculpting in the Demoniacal Fit version, you get a 3D sculpt for the eyebrow, which gives it a very anime accurate look. Again, the hair is so lightweight and it's articulated too. Do you know how long I've struggled with articulating a Super Saiyan 3 hair? Sometimes I want the hair to be flowing up, and it's practically I'm going to ignore that. And that's practically impossible to get from a really heavy hair. This thing has a very different neck peg compared to all the other releases that we've had. If you're looking to head swap it with a Games Begin Goku, like I was, it's kind of just shattered my dreams. You will not be able to do that. This is a very different neck peg compared to the Games Begin or any other official releases. I actually don't think you're going to be able to head swap it at all, unless you're able to swap out the neck completely. This 3.0 body is feeling outdated, especially when we've gotten so much better articulation with the Games Begin Goku, but it looks better than the Eternal Martial Artist. One of the issues that I had with the Eternal Martialist is that the plastic is so thin on the sleeves that it practically looks see-through. You can see the blue seeping out from under the orange. It makes it feel like cheap thin plastic. The Super Saiyan 3 release looks more updated. It's actually looking very similar to the quality that Tamashii Nations would provide if they had given us a 3.0 Goku. I actually do like it as is. I think Demoniacal Fit improved a lot. It's not the best body, but it's a nice body. So let's pop this head back in. It's sharp. It's really sharp. In order to pop this head back in without hurting yourself, you just have to stick your fingers in between this wedge right here and then just push down, and you'll be able to, ooh, okay. And you'll be able to push it in without hurting yourself. This is articulated too. Oh, that's interesting. Wait, this is articulated too. Wait, this is articulated too. This hair is about 85% articulation. So there's a joint right here. So you're able to move this part. You're also able to move this part. Then you're able to move this part. And then you're able to move these strands of hair. And the last one that you're able to move is this one right behind the head. The hair has really good points of articulation. Only issue that I'm seeing right now is that the head keeps popping off. So let's check what this bag comes with. So it comes with the Ki Blast hands, instant transmission hands, another set of Ki Blast hands. The fingers are slightly more extended, and then there's the fighting pose hands. It really depends on what angle you're looking at it from, but it does give it slight sausage finger vibes. It also comes with these 2 whiskers that I'm assuming are for here. So let's pop these in. You need to be very careful when you pop these in. This is like incredibly hard to put on. Okay, so they just slide right in. So that was an interesting experience. They will break if you don't know how to insert them properly. So you have to be very careful with the whiskers. And then you have the stand. So this does look like a Tamashii Nation store Dragon Ball stand. It's built into the dragon, which I think is really cool. This is very sturdy, by the way. There. My goodness. Look, if we ever get Tamashii Nations to give us something like this, we wouldn't have to look for third-party companies to provide this. I don't know how to describe it other than this is by the fans for the fans, if that makes any sense. The sculpting is great. Look at the detailing. I just think this is a really, really solid base, and it looks incredible. I could spend hours talking about this because this looks amazing, but let's get into the actual figure itself. The reason I have him showcased like this is because I want you to see that he's able to stand up by himself. Dealing with heavy figures is not something that I'm very excited to do. We have the faces right here. This one is the pre-order face. This is Super Saiyan 3 Goku looking off to the side. So this is the traditional Super Saiyan 3 Goku pose. When he first turns Super Saiyan 3 in front of Majin Buu, if you end up getting this face and it looks unnaturally wide, it's probably because it was squished. All you need to do to get it back to normal is just squeeze the sides. Then you get the face how it's supposed to look. We have the traditional Demoniacal Fit Goku articulation. For this one specifically, the plastic feels a lot better than the previous releases. There's a slight gloss in this area right here, but the rest is a mix of matte and gloss. From the back right here, it's very matte, except for the joints. From the front, you get this slight gloss over here. It doesn't look bad. In terms of articulation, let's start with the neck. Okay, so he doesn't have much range for looking up. Now to the side, nothing at all. You do get more movement. You do get slightly more movement if you move the neck. Now let's go onto the arm. So you do get 360 movement, and then you have the regular Demoniacal fit thing going on here that gives this really nice looking gap. But you get the double jointed elbows, which gives you this amount of range for both sides. You get the wrist swivel, and then you get the bicep swivel as well. The joints feel really nice. Let's get into this butterfly joint. Let's pull these arms out a little bit, push this towards the center. Because the chest is all hard plastic, you don't really get that much freedom for movement, at least the fist touch. So now let's move on to the ab crunch. If you've handled Demoniacal fit figures before, you know that the ab crunch is severely limited. Let's go down. That's it. Let's go up. That's it. Let's move down to the legs. We're gonna kick up. That's pretty decent, actually. And then we're gonna point this toe. Oh, that's a tough joint. At least it has a really good pointed toe. Now let's move back. Nope. Double jointed knees with this 3.0 knee that I'm not a big fan of. He does give you a really good bend for the knee. So this one's slightly harder to move. And then we go into the ankle. So you do get the ankle swivel, and then you get the pointed toe with the traditional Demoniacal fit 3.0 toe articulation. I don't need a toe to go that far if you're going to give me a giant gap. So for the waist, you are able to give him a 360 rotation. I feel like the legs were updated because I don't think I was able to ever get this sort of range for any Demoniacal fit figure. Going back to the articulation for the hair, this strand of hair is articulated. These two strands are also articulated. And then we go into the next point of articulation, which is this entire section right here. You're able to go up and down and rotate at 360. You're able to flip it upside down and move this up so it looks like the hair is flying up. Besides that, you also get another swivel right here. And then you get this very last piece that you're able to move around. You don't necessarily have to move everything to get a good pose, but it's nice to know that you're able to. So Demoniacal Fit's articulation is not the greatest, but it's also not bad in this figure. Let's go into the faces and see how each individual face looks on the body. Faces are actually one of the highlights from this figure so far. We have the pre-order face, teeth greening face, screaming open mouth face, two smiling Gokus. The first one is a smirk. I think his mouth is slightly opened. This face is closed smile Goku. One of the other things that came with this set is this halo. The halo looks like a cheap ring. The only halo that I've seen so far that actually looks of quality is the DKO Super Saiyan 2 halo. Unfortunately, I recently broke mine. So one of the best halos that I've ever had ended up breaking because I accidentally dropped my Super Saiyan 2 Goku. This size I think is the most appropriate size for any halo. Now that we've gotten this out of the way, let's get to my favorite part, which is the posing. I can't wait to pose this, okay? So let's get into that.
I knew it pushed beyond Super Saiyan itself. That was the limit of his power. Can there actually be more?
You're bluffing him, right, buddy? You must be. I mean, how much stronger can a guy get?
This next level goes way beyond Super Saiyan 2!
Hi, so this is Future Me again. This is a few days after handling the Dragon Blaster, the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I realized that the problem with this figure for me is actually the body itself, because it is an older style of body. It's the older 3.0. This used to be my go-to Goku body before they announced the Games Begin body, but compared to the newer bodies, it's really not my favorite anymore. I wanted to find a way to use this Super Saiyan 3 head on the Games Begin body, and I found out that the only neck that would fit properly is the Super Saiyan 4 neck. Honestly, the final version is absolutely worth it. I mean, look at it. Look at it. It's beautiful. At the moment, this specific head only works on the Daima Goku neck and the Super Saiyan 4 Goku neck. If you're looking to have this specific head on the Games Begin body, you're going to have to replace the neck. Now, if you're interested in learning how to do that, I do have a tutorial up on my channel. So if you want to know how exactly I did it, feel free to check that out. So now that we've gotten this out of the way, let's get back into the final thoughts. All right, let's get into these final thoughts. Genuinely, I think that this is right now the most affordable and the best looking Super Saiyan 3 Goku out there. The biggest reason for that has to be because of the faces. I cannot get over how good these faces looked. They're actually my favorite thing about the entire figure because these faces are so anime accurate. They're beautifully done. The quality is amazing. The colors are vibrant. Everything is so put together and sharp, crisp. Everything about these faces is 100% worth the price that I paid. These are probably my favorite Super Saiyan 3 faces next to the SSW head sculpt, but the difference is that the SSW head sculpt, as good as they may look, are not worth the price. You're not getting a figure. You're also not getting a stand. You're not getting anything but the faces, the dragon punches, and the lightning bolts. For the price, Demoniacal Fit takes the cake. They really went all out with this figure. The sculpt in the dragon is so beautiful, and having taken the time to actually pose it into the Super Dragon Fist attack, I cannot get over how good this looks. It looks like a statue, but it's articulated and you can move it however you want to, you know, with the limitations that the Demoniacal Fit body has, but still you are able to put the head on the Daima body, and the Daima body is a little skinny, but I was very happy to know that because we are able to use the Daima body with the neck peg for this Goku, that kind of opens up the possibility of being able to use it on another figure that uses the same neck peg system as the Daima figure. Figure in itself is actually really good. I feel like it's much better quality than the Martialist Forever. It feels more solid, and I love the coloring options that they did here. But even with that limitation regarding the neck swapping, I feel like this figure is absolutely worth the price. If you offered me just the dragon with this head sculpt, I would have purchased it like that. That alone justifies the $80 price. And overall, I really feel like this is finally the Super Saiyan 3 that we've been asking for. To anybody that has the budget for this figure, if you want it, get it. If you're interested in seeing another Demoniacal Fit review, check out this video right here where I compare the Kamioni Gogeta and the Demoniacal Fit Gogeta. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.